Hi, I'm Mark Risby from Digibox. We're here at ISE 2026 with Robert from iodyne. It's one of our latest brands. iodyne make hard drive and storage solutions, but that's not the full story, right? It's so much more than just a plug-in thing.
It is. I think people have typically looked at drives as really just filing cabinets for their data. But actually, if you really think about it, what you really want them to be is workflow tools. But the reason that they haven't been is that because the types of drives that people typically buy and use are more what I would define as consumer products, and they're being fit into industrial level workflows, which most creatives are trying to achieve.
The little orange drives have replaced tape in some ways rather than being a hard drive and part of a bigger system, right?
That's correct. That's a good way to look at it.
So you fixed a lot of problems that are inherent though, because drives are convenient, we know that. They shouldn't be, but they are a really good way of, a human way of connecting with your data, moving it around. What makes yours different?
Well, what makes ours different is that we really took a ground-up approach of, what are the problems that people have as customers? Like, what are the things that are stopping them from achieving creative outcomes? And one of the most common things is that what they want their drive to do is help them facilitate a sustained workflow. They want to work with larger files, large rasters, full frame rates, but they can't do that because of things like thermal throttling. So one of the things that we've done in this new drive called the Pro Mini is we've introduced something called solid state cooling, which basically is an active bus-powered cooling system that gives the system a sustained data rate.
And no one's done that before, right?
No one has ever done that before, and this will basically give 3 gigs a second or 10 terabytes an hour.
Wow, and if you look at other drives, you can literally see them throttle up and down as they're trying to do that. So you can run this full speed all of the time.
That's correct, and that will allow you to do things like directly record from cameras. It will allow you to work with 8K images.
So you're spending less time moving files on set. It's a time saver. It's more than just a storage.
That is correct. But the other things that we thought about are also important, like redundancies. So this drive is also a hardware-based RAID 6, which means that rather than being a single chip, it's made up an array of chips so that if one of those chips fails, you won't lose your data, which is another common problem of regular drives.
What about if you lose the drive?
Well, that's a great question. We've actually put something in here called the Find My Tracker, which works with Apple and Google ecosystems so that you can do things like find the drive through your Find My application. But we've actually done something else. As you notice here, there's a digital label, which I've actually customized for our meeting today. So we have the ISE Digibox interview. But the label is also linked to the Find My system, so that if you lose the drive, it's not only that you can figure out where it is, but you can actually dynamically deploy a different label. So you could say, this drive belongs to Mark, and then provide a phone number for someone to call you for its retrieval.
Any other security features that go along with it?
There is. Well, the drive is completely encrypted, so it's an AES-256 encryption. And actually, if you own a fleet of drives, we have a set of services called Fleet Management where you can allocate drives to a project, allocate those users to those drives, two-factor authenticate the user. But occasionally, you're going to have to send a drive to someone not in your IT framework. And so what we allow for is we can send someone a drive, it arrives encrypted, then we can send that person a credential to their iPhone, and using passkeys, we can basically do tap to unlock.
Wow, so there's nothing like that out there at the minute.
Completely unique.
And I've talked to a few content owners. I spoke to one of them recently. They'd had 800 drives. They didn't know where they were. So, I mean, it's an enormous problem for people, right?
It's a big problem, and it's also an ESG problem as well, because people are buying a lot of drives, they're losing them, or they're just putting them on the shelf because they can't deal with the data management. So the fact that these devices really can fit into your IT framework is a very powerful and compelling thing. And the drive also has things like active health telemetry, so you actually know where you are in the read-write life cycle of the drive itself.
Right, so it's going to be something that's designed to be around for a while. It's not a disposable item, right?
Correct, yeah. A reusable item.
So I think we're going to see the media companies perhaps issue the drives at the beginning of the project in a way that they haven't done before, keeping ownership of it. It's a complete system, right? It's just totally different.
Yes, I mean, it's basically designed to be an asset as opposed to a commodity.
And it's part of a wider group of products, right? It's not the.
That's correct, yes. So we make a family of portable devices. So this is the Pro Mini. We have a larger device that's about the size of a gaming laptop called the Pro Data. And in that device, it has all of the same principles, hardware-based RAID 6, encryption, super high speed, but that goes from capacities anywhere from 12 to 192 terabytes.
Wow, and it's not just media and entertainment, right? You're seeing uses for this all over other industries.
Yes, we think there are a lot of different areas where people need edge data and the ability to move large amounts of data securely and quickly, right? So these would be things like government, defense, medical, all kinds of applications like that.
Brilliant. Well, it's a great product. We're showing it here at the show, or you can find more information out on www.digi-box.co.uk. Thanks, Robert.
Thank you so much.